Kody, Merritt, welcome. Geez, that's a hand. Welcome to Knuckles Up 2. Thank you so much for coming. I know it was, thankfully, not too long of a flight, right?
No, it was decent.
But you are here, #1 in North America on the left hand.
That's what they tell me.
And I hear in the grapevine that's not going anywhere. So,
well,
how are you feeling overall?
You know what? To be honest, I've had a bit of a struggle the last few weeks with my body and with health and everything. But I got really concerned. I mean, I'm coming around. I'm feeling really good.
Good.
We'll see how it turns out.
Yeah. So obviously, you guys are the last match of the night. The crowning jewel of what we're doing here because last time Camille was here, he took on Dave Chafee, and we all saw how that went. Now, props to Dave. I know he's been dealing with some injuries too, and Camille is young and hungry. But I know, and you know, that it takes a lot to knock the king down.
Well, some could say Dave was a king too.
This is very true. But on the left hand, there's only one name that everyone's told me about in North America, and that's Kody Merritt. So, we know you dealt with a little bit of injuries. I know you recently had a hip surgery. That's healing up good, right, I hope?
Yeah, it's healed up. I get some aches and pains from it when I don't move it enough.
Sure.
And I've just got to get that taken care of. That's actually what I was talking about. Part of what I was talking about with the last few weeks, I've kind of struggled. I had a bit of a shoulder, like just in the point of my shoulder, like maybe the top of the bicep. I'm not 100% for sure where, but it's just a little ache.
Sure.
And it's pretty much gone away. I've rested for this about 2.5 weeks because of it. Trying to get completely healed and ready to go.
Good.
But Christmas morning, I threw my back out. Putting my underwear on, I threw my back out, and I've had some big time struggles. And I think that's because I went to the chiropractor the next day, a day later, and my SI joint was so out. Like my right leg was about an inch longer than my left. It was just everything wasn't lined up right. And but the chiropractor worked on me 4 or 5 times since then, and it's feeling a lot better. I'm good now. My hips, it still gets tight and gets sore, but I can move around a little bit, get it warmed up, and it's okay.
We've been talking with Ryan Espy, and he said the last time he felt you on the table, he hasn't felt your strength there in a long time. So I'm hoping that's going to come out tomorrow night. I know it's going to. I know. Once the lights and the cameras and everything gets going, and you got that crowd screaming for you. But we're super, super excited, and we really appreciate you coming, obviously.
I'm super excited to be here. Again, talking to Ryan, because he and I are really good buddies. After my match with him, I started talking to him a little bit about this one, because you guys had mentioned it, and I for sure wanted to be here. And he kind of after-pulled with Camille. Sorry,
no, it's
drawing a blank. With Camille, and he really built me up, gave me a lot of confidence.
Good.
Ryan's a really good guy. That match that I had with him was the first time I've ever beaten Ryan ever. And a matter of fact, when I tore my bicep off, it was against Ryan years ago in Vegas. So he's been a really good buddy ever since, and we've grown pretty close. And he helped me with this whole preparation, just kind of deciding which lane I want to take and where I want to be. So
now, obviously, we have an amazing card, and I've been asking all the athletes if there's one other match that you're excited about to watch on our whole card, what might it be?
Well, there's a couple that interest me. The one that I think is going to be a great match, especially if Tom Holland can put Jason in a hook. That's going to be a match. Now, if Jason's hand and wrist are as strong as he's known to be, and Tom can't get him there, it might not be so interesting. But I think if Tom can get him in a hook, oh goodness, I think that's going to be a fun match to watch.
I was just actually talking with Jason about that. Is a lot of people have said the same thing. They're very excited about that match. And I kind of don't want to see what happened last time, where Jason was just overwhelmingly stronger than Nonistat, and he just took it home 3-0. So I would love to see a grinder of a match.
Yeah, as a promoter, you always want to see that.
Yeah.
As Jason's friend, you just want to see him
win. Exactly.
So, but Tom's a great kid too. I like Tom a lot. He's obviously been around the sport for years. He knows what he's doing. He's a second generation arm wrestler.
That's right.
Like from good arm wrestling. You know what I mean? And then. So I wish them both well, have a good match, make it interesting. I'm interested to see who's going to win.
Me too.
The other match that I thought is very interesting is Brandon and RBJ.
RBJ, yeah.
Brandon's a friend of mine. He lives close to me. We spoke a lot in the past. He helps me a little bit with my training. I think Brandon's going to have to do quite a bit to beat RVJ, but it could get interesting if he slows him down the first couple matches. I think Brandon has an extra tank that people don't recognize, and I don't know how RVJ is in that regard, because it's kind of known that RVJ doesn't train a ton, so his endurance might be a little iffy, you know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think it's going to be an absolutely great night of arm wrestling. And we're going to finish with a very simple question. Well, a little less simple, a little bit complicated. As we all know, your opponent also took a match with Devin Larratt. Now, I spoke with him, and I will say, he told me he's giving this match 100%. And because you obviously are number one ranked in North America, and I explained to him too, is, yes, Devin is Devin, but in terms of ranking, in terms of left hand, we know, who's above who. So I know Devin wanted to pull you. Does that, and I'm not trying to start drama, but did that maybe rub you in a little way, or just are you just kind of laser focused and whatever he decides to do after doesn't matter because you're here to just get away?
Well, I mean, regardless, he's got to face me first.
Sure.
But it was kind of so Devin sent out the invite or the request, whatever you want to call it, asking if anybody would be interested in arm wrestling in a really short turnaround, basically 2 days after this event. And he said my name, and I want to arm wrestle Devin. He's looking incredibly strong, and everybody knows Devin is a technician and he understands the sport, and he's well-rounded, has tons of tools to go to, right? But I want to arm wrestle Devin in a situation a situation that doesn't completely benefit him. So I didn't want to take that match. Obviously, there's no way I could recover after 2 days. I can't do that.
I don't think anyone can.
And when Camille said yes to that, I thought, he must really think that he's going to walk right through me, and it's just going to be simple. And yeah, it was a bit of a slap in the face. I mean, I'm a fat old man. I understand this, but I've got a decent arm,
Yeah.
I'm a pretty good arm wrestler, and I just felt like that was a little disrespectful. And I actually talked to him about it. I messaged him and I said, hey, I don't think this is that cool. And he's like, listen, it has nothing to do with you. I mean, he was super nice about it. He's basically a dreamer. He wants to be the best. He wants to be a great arm wrestler, and he knows the names he's got to face. And if someone said, hey, anybody, like if Jerry Cataract said, Camille, you want to arm wrestle me right after you arm wrestle Devin? He'd take it.
He'd say yes. Yeah, he would.
Because he wants to have his name out there with the best arm wrestlers in the world.
Yeah.
Which you can't blame him. He's young, sure. He's motivated, he's got endless potential. I don't blame him in that regard. I couldn't do it. And I would, and his style, I would be scared of injury, because that's an elbow waiting.
It's a lot on an elbow, yeah. It's a lot on an elbow. So we'll see. Well, Kody, I wish you the best of luck. I think it's going to be an absolutely amazing match.
I hope it's not. I'm sorry to say, William, I hope it's not.
You hope it's a 1, 2, 3, and you go home.
I do. I want it over fast, because if he puts me in an awkward position, it could be a bad day for me.
Well, the camera and the public want to hear your message to Kamil Jablonski.
Oh, I'm not good at trash talk. I'm not good at that.
It doesn't have to be trash talk.
Well, good luck with Devin. I hope you kick his butt.
But watch out for tomorrow night.
Don't sleep.
Don't sleep. So thank you so much for everything. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for
Guys,
having me here.
Grab your pay-per-view now to watch this big man do some work tomorrow night against Kamil Jablonski. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.